Sup kitties, how y'all living? Hope everything is based and y'all are having a noble week. I want to thank the big three at PLQ55, at Robin19854, at Tainted Sold 890. Now let's start. So I first sketched out this script few days ago, and 2 days ago my most favorite Chungus Exquofont uploaded a video about what the real right wing is. And I thought it would be an amazing idea to get this out as soon as possible. He presented his issues with the mainstream right in his previous videos. Today I will talk about why I think the mainstream right is cringe for the most part, and why I don't necessarily want to call this a right-wing channel. The main reason is that most self-proclaimed right-wingers, aside from my kiddies and the viewers of these rock stars, are absolute boomer mindset pussies that never talk about stock, the most important thing in politics nowadays, and are just leftists on speed limit, as Tainted pointed out. I have few examples of this and already talked about this for a bit in some of my other videos. By the way, for the Padawans, stock is this silly little thing that is 1000% a social construct that evil white man invented to justify exploiting unfortunate minorities.
Have your views on the relationship between race and intelligence changed?
No, not at all. The difference is it's genetic.
First example of this omega soy virtue signaling is mass migrations. Mega boomers will tell you these Latinos shouldn't be in the U.S. is because they came here illegally and don't speak English and are not compatible with Western values. But most of them are very religious big Christ guys, very homophobic, throw up seeing the woke slop, against abortions, against gay marriage. And yet you still don't want them there? So if 100,000 Christians from Nigeria who speak English fluently and don't commit any crime came legally to, let's say, New Hampshire, which is almost 90% white, would you guys be okay with this? These guys are too afraid to say, I don't want these Nigerians here, because they are black! And that is perfectly justifiable. The country of USA was built for people like me and you, and not for people like this. These so-called right-wing speakers, sometimes even called conservatives, would never dare to stand up for their people. Stock comes second. We are not like those woke right bigots, am I right?
Should be avoided. Like, will America still be America if it's 90% Indian, it's 90% Chinese? Or is there a stock, a certain type of people with a certain technique?
I will answer the question this way. America will cease to be America if it does not have a Christian foundation and undergirding. That is how I will answer.
So if it was 90% Indian Christian, is that still America?
If it's Christian, yes.
Funny how they call themselves conservatives, yet only thing they want to conserve is Brazil, which is a blood and soil ethno-state for the Brazilians. Check this out.
Support of Israel and their right to defend themselves, but they have to do this. They simply have no option if they are to survive as a country and, frankly, in many ways, as a race in that part of the world. Do you think that immigration represents a major threat to Britain from a demographic perspective? So, in the last 20 years, the white British population has declined from 87% to 74%. Is that a concern of yours? No. You say you're not concerned about demographic changes in Britain, but we have seen the fastest and most rapid decline of the white British population ever experienced in British history. This has happened in such a tiny, short period of time that majority cities that were once, 90% white British are now majority ethnic minority, like London, Leicester, Birmingham. So why isn't that a concern of yours? But they're not unrecognisable as being English because of skin colour. They're unrecognisable because of culture. I mean, look, the truth is, I genuinely think that the British are the most open-minded, most accepting people, that you frankly...
I just want a Britain where British people are put first. And that's it. Just British people are put first.
Who are those British people?
It's not white people, it's British people.
Right. Does it include me?
Of course it includes you, yeah.
Does it include Muslim?
Of course it includes Muslims.
The UK has got a special place in my heart, because on the one hand, they really helped give birth to the Jewish state in World War I. The Balfour Declaration, the San Remo Accords, the mandate for a Jewish Palestine, the UK was at the forefront of it.
And then they turned on us.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
They turned on us, man. And therefore they have a special place in hell. And therefore they have a special place in hell.
Right-wing boomer only leaves his truth regime when it comes to defend Brazil from verbal onslaught of his liberal granddaughter, but will retreat right back when his Zoomer grandson says things should go back like they were before Hart-Celler Act. I feel like mainstream right is just a anti-women slop-showling. They blame the women for voting left while white women vote Republican way more than black men do, for example. And these would be election results in Germany if only Muslims voted. I know AFD isn't a based party and won't save us. Their leader is a lesbian married to a Sri Lankan woman and said Painter was left.
Adolf Hitler war ein Linker.
Giga Boomer Moment BTW, also worked for a Brazilian bank, AFD, is way better than the CDU and that twisted lady that went to Schwab's Young Global Leaders program.
And I have to say, when I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
Mm-hmm. I know Groypers acknowledge the existence of stock, but they still hate on women way too much. Both mainstream right and left are just slop-showeling subversive forces. One erodes what our ancestors built, other erodes it slower.
I don't really pay that much attention to American politics because even the Republicans, if the Republicans are in power, they're not going to stop the dispossession of whites. They may slow it down, but there is not a single Republican in elected office anywhere in the United States at any level that I know of who is prepared to say, well, hold on. This country was established for white people. It was established with the idea that this is going to be an outpost of Western civilization. And if it ceases to be majority white, if it ceases to be an outpost for Western civilization and is simply up for grabs for whoever can manage to break into the country, then it's not the United States anymore, and we really have to start over. No one is prepared to say that.
In 10 years from now, the so-called conservatives will support gay marriage and maybe even have some trannies among them. And leftists will be fighting for marriages between humans and animals. In the UK, the so-called Conservative Party has urban warriors and street enrichers, not to mention when they were in power, the immigration doubled. That's what I had to say. I'm sorry for the inferior quality of this vid, but I'm working on a bigger project. Until next time, peace and love.